Hello, I'm Aprille McShane. Today is the 15th of October. It's a very moody and misty day here in Sheffield. I'm an artist. My background is as an artist is just something that I've always done. I don't have much of an arts education, and at some point the idea of being creative wasn't a priority. Raised by a single parent, I think the thing that I took from that was that it was important to go out there and earn some money. So art is something that I'll come back to at later life. I'm in my 50th year in life, and I am in what I would feel emerging in my art practice. As I said, I was raised by a single parent, my mum, who's had a huge influence on me. We lived in lots of different places, but a large part of my childhood was we lived on a non-working farm, but a place that was surrounded by lots of wild space, fields, and walls and trees and bits of disused land, bits of disused buildings. And as quite a free-range child, I explored that constantly. In fact, I don't think I was inside much. And when I was inside, then I would draw or dance or wait to be able to be back outside. But I would say, in regards to being raised by a single parent and that sense of practicality over what could be seen is arts and education as a bit of an indulgence. So it was that was an influence in regards to leaving that idea behind. However, in my early 20s, I moved to London, and the people that I met there were, I would say, have had an influence in regards to creative environments. I was fortunate to work in many different creative environments and hang out with people, creative thinkers, creative problem solvers, or just environments that incorporated that were just creative environments, such as architecture, fashion. I was in design teams, and this really shaped an idea of something that could be. Perhaps I could explore something. So my education started then in lots of different things that I was interested in. I've always been interested in lots of different things. And then I moved back to Sheffield to raise my family, and this has had another layer of interest or influence rather on my life in regards to giving me time to looking through the world through my children's eyes, and that sense of wonder that I remembered and felt, but also being back in this place in Sheffield and being which is surrounded by extraordinarily beautiful and varied countryside. From my house, I have 5 minutes and I walk along a river. I'm immersed in woodland, and not one to take my children to playgrounds, but rather to kind of adventure around the P district that we're surrounded by. This ignited my sense of, or something that I've always had, is just being able to see the environment around me, notice textures, notice a change in colour, notice how the light affects things, seeing shadow, being curious. I've always been drawn to pathways and where they go, and who's walked on them, getting lost, that sense of wonder. So having a family has had a huge influence on me, bringing me to this point and wanting to raise my children and kind of be present, but also childcare is incredibly expensive in this country. Creating a world around that, which has led me to developing an art practice over the last 14 years, slowly, and originally in a very practical sense, teaching other people, doing workshops, sharing skills, something that I really enjoy doing now, still do, and I love to share what I learn and the joy in having a go and watching people having a go. However, I've developed an art practice, and this is a new wonder to me that I'm just immersed in. I can't wait to get up in the morning and go and explore what that is, and that's within printmaking, and drawing, painting, using pastels. I'm constantly have my head turned by a new technique, but I'm slowly starting to find the things that have settled for me that I would like to explore further, which is drawing, painting, even if that's I use painting techniques within my printmaking to create monotypes. They're based in around my observations of the natural world, which I'm really fortunate to have a dog, Minnie, and I walk her every day in the woods, and every day I'm looking for something new, or I'm aware of something, or a change, or a feeling, or a sound, or how the weather has impacted the environment, how everything's saturated and really deep in colours, or the brightness, or and it's wonderful, and there's always something new to explore there. And my focus at the moment is now thinking about, I keep going back to that, the child inside of me and that sense of wonder. And I'm thinking about now how perhaps I could take some of these, this work that I'm producing constantly, but perhaps how can I place myself as a child into this work, not just kind of that sense of wonder, but just literally. I don't really do much figurative things, but perhaps so I could include myself in some way now and perhaps as a child. I'm not sure, so I'm exploring these thoughts as well. So it's constantly expanding, and obviously that's what keeps it exciting. Like I have previously said, the mediums I use are paint, drawing, pastel, printing. I've started using pastels as a way of creating prints as well, which is not your usual way, but of doing pastel transfers. I'm interested in perhaps thinking about how I can create inks from nature, but I'm not sure if that could just be a whole new path. But no, it's exciting. That's what it's about, isn't it? Exploring. But sometimes I use actual leaves to print with, or bits of flowers, and found objects to do stamping. And I'm always on the lookout for things that could be, that's interesting, I could use that to print with. So printmaking in itself is brilliant, because it lends itself to that curiosity, and also a bit of serendipitous, that serendipity, that you kind of what you're doing, but you lay your paper down, and when you peel that paper off, you're not absolutely sure what's going to come off there, and that's thrilling. So I think I'll always have printmaking in my practice, because it's endlessly exciting. And you can mix it up, you learn how to do something, then you find your own way to do it. And I find that interesting, is finding my way, my way of doing things within different techniques. I found lately, I used to listen to a lot of music, but now I find I listen more to, and I don't know if it's my age, but it's more background. It's either talk radio, I found myself listening to a lot, or podcasts, even audiobooks have become a thing, but nothing that kind of distracts me from what I'm doing. And possibly audiobooks are often things that I feel like I'll just kind of take in by osmosis, and I'll learn some great ways of using my time practically and that kind of stuff. And I've come across classical music keeps featuring in my listening, which is new for me. I don't know anything about it. And often I go from something that I'm really enjoying to something that's just very dramatic. My dog's wagging her tail at the moment, so you can hear her banging. You're right, Minnie. But music is important. I don't like not having anything, but also I really like it to be in the background. And then there comes a point where everything comes together, and then I'll ask, to play my favourite music, and then I have this soundtrack of music that I seem to just listen to, which is a bit more it's a bit of kind of get cracking and starts pulling things together. The music is important. Sound is really important. So when I'm out documenting imagery while I'm walking, my phone is really important, and I take photographs all the time of things that I try not to overthink it. I've tried taking a sketchbook out, and I might do that a little bit more. I've thought about it, but I like the immediacy and the spontaneity of seeing something that interests me and having my phone and just snapping a picture and not worrying about it. I tend to also then delete them because I'm really trying to keep moving forward. That seems to be an important aspect. However, with that as well, it means I can take sound recordings. So the sound of the birds in particular is a really joyful thing, or the wind moving through the woods, and the sound of the river, depending on the season. At the moment, we're in October, so it will be endlessly rainy and misty here. And I will search for the sunlight, which is what's great as well, that with my work, is that you're always looking forward, because mainly it's flowers that I notice the most. So it's the seasons change, and then there's nothing happening, and there's a beauty in the trees without their leaves, but really, it becomes a bit much eventually. But then all of a sudden, just when it's too much, you see little snowdrops pushing their way through, and woodland, I don't know what they're called, they're woodland pansies or anyway, but buds are appearing, and hope is there again. And that's really important, and I think it's what keeps things going. It's something that I like to really share with my work. Often when people see my work, the nicest thing is if they find it delightful, and it's a delight. But there's a hopeful aspect to it, and there's this joy in the colour choices, and it's always lovely to hear people's thoughts or their interpretation. I'll be interested to see, as my work is evolving and incorporating new techniques, how they will be, what that connection will be to my audience. So we'll see. It's all very positive, which is great, isn't it? That's what ultimately you do make work that you want. I do make work that I want to be seen. I want it to be seen by people, and if there's a lovely comment to be made or a thought, or then that's brilliant. That's brilliant, and it delights me. As I was saying, my work, I think what I find, my work is predominantly floral and seasonal. So that sense of hope that comes with seasonal changes, I hope that people take away that from my artwork. That's what I want to instill, but also to notice. I've always been able to notice things happening around me, a bird flying, doing, I notice different things. And I've become aware that not everybody does notice, and perhaps my artwork, my work can encourage people to notice the natural beauty and wonder that surrounds them. So that's nice. If you are interested in following my work, which would be lovely, I'd be delighted. You can follow me sociably on Instagram. My handle there is Studio Aprille. Aprille is APRILLE, which is just April, but my mum likes to be different, so she had to add some more letters. So there you go. And also my website is aprillemcshane.com, and on there there is whatever I'm up to. I do a lot of, or I'm very fortunate to get public commissions, which are embedded in my practice of nature, but also in regards to community and working with communities to either create a piece of artwork or to just be part of the process. So you'll find stuff like that on there. And previously I mentioned how I love to share techniques and things that I've learned. So workshops, if you're interested in doing any workshops or visiting the studio, you'll find information on my website. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.